Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 1 of the Austin Salem podcast. You know me, I'm Austin Salem. Um, Welcome back to the channel. This is a brand new show, brand new chapter of my time here on YouTube. Um, this is an entirely different thing. Very different from the usual stuff that you guys see here on the channel. Um, I'm uh I'm more known for those of you who are new to the channel. I'm known for doing Angry Grandma reactions, as well as like Happy Tree Friends, um, Angry Grandpa. Those types of channels that I do feature on my reaction videos. But this is an entirely different thing that we're doing here on the channel. Um, this is episode 1 of my podcast. And uh every episode will air weekly live. Um this is a live stream, which, I plan to make these podcast episodes live. So that way, during, because I do want to, there is a segment on on the podcast where I will be going through chat, answering questions, taking requests. Like, if you guys have a request you want me to feature on the channel, in a future video, I will take it down. And yeah, it's kind of a new way for you guys to get to know me a little bit better than just doing reaction videos, and gaming. Um, but yeah, so welcome. Um, but yeah, man, this is this is an introductory episode. If you guys can't tell by now, it's more of an introductory episode. There's not a specific topic we're going to talk about in today's episode. This is just you guys getting to know me a little bit more. Let's just start with, how long have I been on YouTube? I've been on YouTube for over 3 years now. I started in 2021. Um, and yeah, I just kind of picked up a camera. Saw all these people that were doing reaction videos all across YouTube. Struggle Nation, um, yeah, Struggle Nation, Real Rejects, Vicuña, who is one of my all-time favorite channels for, watching any types of videos. She does a lot of first-time watching videos, which is really awesome. And I'm going to be doing that sometime down the road as well. Um, but yeah, no. So but yeah, I started over 3 years ago. Um, like I said, just picked up a camera and shot my first reaction video, which was, I believe it was Bob's Fridge. Um, yeah, I believe it was Bob's Fridge, episodes 1 and 2, by Sir Walter Underbridge, that it kind of got me on the grid a little bit, because that video does have a little bit more. I will say that video has more. I think that video has more views than Angry Grandma, my first Angry Grandma video, which is cool. But then I had to step away from doing those types of videos, because there was an incident where people were not crediting Sir Walter Underbridge, and so thus far I had to kind of step away from that. But um, but yeah, but ever since I've been doing Angry Grandma, um, Nuke's Top 5, uh, adding different types of videos. Um, but yeah, no, it's just been an incredible, incredible um journey here. We've had a lot of ups, and we definitely have had a lot of downs since I've been on here. Um, I've definitely had a lot of medical problems over the years. Um, one of the bigger things that happened to me, which I was forced to step away from YouTube because of this. Um, so I had a major infection that was eating my flesh, as well as um killing me from the inside. I know it's you don't want to start off. I don't like starting off like with the negative, but that was one of the many um incidents that uh caused me to step away from the channel. I was in the hospital for over a little under a month, actually. because of that. Because it was a very bad infection. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, the infection that I did have was MRSA, and it stems from a staph infection. So it was really, really bad. Because especially for the fact that um I was working in the food business, working in the kitchen a lot, and that's where my staph infection kind of stemmed from, was from the from working in the kitchen. And I have psoriasis. um so I had a lot of open wounds and a lot of airways, air pockets, I guess, in my body that were kind of trigger points and access points for um the infection to kind of build up. So, but yeah, no, that was one of the many things that caused me to step away from YouTube. And I think ever since then, um I've been definitely trying to get back to doing things the way I used to with YouTube. Um, Trying to get back to doing things daily, and um, trying to put in a lot of work. But as you know, I am a father. I have a 5-year-old child. Uh, so um, that's another thing. But I don't really care about that as much because, you know, she's my daughter, and I love her dearly, and I will always put her first before YouTube, before um work, before any of that. So um that's not really something that I'm worried about at all. Um um Now I will go into a little bit of detail, not much. I mean, because I can go. I guess I can go into as much detail as I want to on here, because it's my channel, and this podcast is kind of my gateway to just talk about everyday life, and um just talk about everything that I love. So um but so the most recent thing that has caused me some problems as far as trying to get back to doing daily videos, and just trying to stay constant on YouTube, is um it's really my me and my significant other. Um you guys know who I'm talking about. Like I said, I'm not going to go into too much detail. But we have fought a lot and over financial struggles. I've done some things um that have uh not they haven't really put us in a financial struggle, because I've gotten to a point where I'm, managing my budget, and um calculating our finances and things like that. But she has also done some things that have put us into a financial hole, and thus far, we've been struggling. So, um, that with um stressing daily about everything on if my family's going to be okay. Are we going to be able to keep our home? Um, I pray to my deities every night. Um, and they have helped me, because I have found um someone who has helped me, and has constantly protected my family, to be honest. Um, and thus far, she's really helped us. And um, but yeah, no, that just marital problems, and then mental. my mental health has deteriorated a little bit because of these problems and because of the financial struggles we're going through day to day. Um, so yeah, that's one of the biggest reasons as why I have not been consistent on YouTube, but I am trying. I know you guys see it here on the channel. I know you guys see it. Um, my buddy, I'm gonna shout him out. My buddy Ryan, aka Z Man's Edits. Um, he sees that I'm trying, and um, he's always been supportive of the things I'm doing, the work I'm putting in. Um, he's always been supportive of me and my family, me and my daughter, and I wholeheartedly appreciate you, Ryan, because you have been there since we first met. When I did the Z Man edits, Angry Grandma, uh, YTP Supercut, a number of years ago, and but yeah, no, you've been a huge support, Ryan, here on the channel, and I wholeheartedly appreciate you. So thank you. Um, but yeah, so I am definitely trying to get back to doing daily videos. Um, but it's one of those things where it's gonna take time. But I'm still gonna keep the channel on. I'm still gonna be here, uploading and things like that. So, um, because I do absolutely love YouTube. I love doing it. It's something that's always kept me afloat. As far as my mental health, um, when I do the live streams and I talk to chat, they're always bringing out the best in me. They're always putting a smile on my face, and sometimes making me cry and uh, things like that. So um, this is not something that I ever see myself getting rid of or walking away from. Um, so, but yeah. Also, I've got a cup of coffee here. I'm sure at some point during the episode, I will go get another cup of coffee. But for now, I'm just hanging here talking with uh for those of you who are listening, who are watching on the stream. Um, I'm just here chatting with you guys, talking. Um, but yeah. So this is kind of my introductory episode. And no, I am no way am I getting off right now, and in no way is this episode close to ending. Um, I don't know the runtime of these episodes yet, so bear with me. Um, these episodes can be long, they can be short. It kind of varies. We play it by ear, just see how things go. Um, but yeah. So, what do we want to talk about? You know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about something that it's something that I really wanted to talk about um on the channel for a while. And I didn't know if I wanted to save this for like just a whole episode talking about this. Maybe we can. Um um let's talk a little bit about it. Let's talk a little bit about it. Because I do want to have a full episode at some point down the road where I just do a face off. Now, if you guys don't know what that is, what I'm talking about, I'm sure you guys do. Um, one thing that I've always wanted to do is like a face off between whether it be horror slashers, action movies. It's always been something that I've deeply wanted to try out. So maybe we can try it out. Um, let's start with the first one because this is a big one that I really need answered. And I'm gonna look to chat right now for this. Um, I gotta have an answer to this question because it's been bothering me. So out of our horror slashers right now, because we've got a ton. We've got Michael Myers, we've got Freddy Krueger, we've got Ghostface, Chucky, um, Art the Clown, um, who was making a big impact. Who surprisingly he has somehow for the low budget that they've had for these Terrifier movies, um, he has made quite an impact. Um, but you got like um, let's see, you've got Leatherface, Jason Voorhees, um, uh, John Carver, who was a recent horror slasher that recently um, came to light. Um, I mean, the list is kind of endless. I think, don't you think, guys? Um, there's one underrated one, and I do have to give this a shout out because also because of Ryan, because of his project that he is working on, and I'm sure at some point, maybe in the next episode or something like that, I would like to get Ryan on here, and maybe we can just me and him just have a conversation about this. Um, but there is a very underrated slasher out there, and it's pissed me off. It's also pissed Ryan off immensely, and for good reason. Um, Smiley, Smiley is a probably one of the most, if not the greatest underrated um slasher of the horror of the slasher genre. Um, um, you know, what can I say about Smiley except the idea of him and the the character design as well as the formula for what they wanted to do with Smiley is um it's a goddamn it's I don't know why they went the route that they went with the first Smiley film, but I do definitely appreciate Smiley because um I think his in his own right he was very unique. And the way that you could summon him was also very unique. Um but yeah, Smiley is another slasher. So like I just said, you guys, the list could be endless if you really think about it. And for those of you who are saying Pennywise is not a slasher. Pennywise is a monster, a horror movie monster. He is literally the embodiment of your worst fears. So he is not considered a slasher. He is more of a movie monster, um, like Frankenstein and Wolfman and the and Predator, Xenomorph, those types of things. So Pennywise would not be considered a slasher. Um, I'm sure that there are some arguments for why he might be a slasher. I just don't see him as a slasher. I see him as more of a horror movie monster slash villain. So Um, but yeah, so but I do need this question answered. Who would win in a fight? And I'm gonna ask chat for this. Who would win in a fight? Ghostface or Michael Myers? I don't know why. There's been several arguments. There's been several, I guess, low key conversations about it because Mike and Jay at We Watched the Movie, I think, have addressed this a little bit in some of their episodes. But um, yeah, like who who would win in a one-on-one fight? What do you guys think? You guys can tell me in the chat. You can tell me in the comments after this episode has aired. Um, but who would win? Because you got to take these factors. I will say you have to take these factors into account. Um, both characters are agile, but I feel like Ghostface has definitely gotten more agility. I think it's just because he's younger and it's not always the same killer. Um, but then you also have Michael, who in a to some degree he is very agile as well. Um, but then you've got the power game, which Michael obviously would definitely um win the cake on that. Um, and then you've got their weapon of choice, which is um the knife. You know, he, Michael's got the butcher knife, and then uh Ghostface has the signature hunting knife. Um, but yeah. But let's take a look at chat and see what they're saying. Michael Myers, Michael Myers, Michael Myers. Well, Ghostface has no chance in this. There's a fan film of Michael Myers versus Ghostface, and Michael won. Ryan, you're gonna have to send me that link because I have not seen that yet. And surprisingly, I have not. I don't know why I haven't seen it, but me being a fan of the horror genre, you would think I would have seen it, but and being on here on YouTube so long, I don't know why I haven't seen it. Hello Barbara. How are you? How are you today? But I think Ryan may have sent me that mess. May have sent me that. Okay, he did. Yeah, I don't know why I haven't seen this film, but yeah. But anyway, but so another. So because like this is an introductory episode, I'm not gonna go into the entirety because I do want to do a full episode where we're just doing um horror movie or action movie face offs. You know what I mean? So I definitely do want to do that at some point. So that's the only question that I had. I kind of know where I'm at on the spectrum. Oh, another slasher uh that I didn't mention, which he has recently made his debut of sorts into the slasher genre, is the Grabber from Black Phone. Um, not Black Phone, not the first Black Phone, because he wasn't really a slasher at that point. He was more of just kidnapping children, holding them hostage for a few days, and then before long, because of the sick game that he was playing, um, with kind of taking them through this kind of psychological um game that he was playing. He was obviously killing off the children, and then along came Vinny and saved the day. Um, but yeah, no, the Grabber, as far as the Black Phone 2, he recently made his debut, into the slasher genre. So that was another one that I was missing. Um, Noah says art. I have already mentioned art. I did mention art. So, um, let's see. What else do we want to talk about in this episode? Um, Jeepers Creepers. Jeepers Creepers is another. Um, Jeepers Creepers is another one that I don't count him as a slasher. I count him more as a horror movie villain or slash monster because yes, he does wield axes and things like that, but also he's a winged demon of the night, literally, who shows up uh every 23 years and eats people. Um um but he shows up every 23 years, he eats people, disappears, um and he flies. He's let me put it to you this way: he's half slasher and half monster, if that makes sense, because he does use weapons. He uses the throwing stars that are made literally from uh skin and bone. Um, he's made these very ancient, kind of blessed um weapons that have engravings in them. Um, he also um, he also wields the axe, the legendary axe. Um, um, but yeah, he's kind of like Pennywise. Yeah, I think he is kind of like Pennywise because he can smell your fear, and that's one of the cool things that I've always liked about the creeper. Is he has a way, like um he smells your fear, and he kind of pinpoints the body parts or organs, whatever limbs that he needs um uh through smelling your fear. So um that's always something that I've loved about the creeper, is the way that he chooses his victims. Um so it's always been that's another reason I've always been so passionate about the creeper and the Jeepers Creepers franchise. Um because it's right there along it's right there along Halloween. It's probably the one of the second it's actually the second um horror film franchise that I've gotten the honor and the privilege to check out. Um so um yeah. Um but I do want to tell you guys one thing though. We're gonna you know what, we're gonna talk about Jeepers Creepers because I just realized I had a topic I want to talk about in this first episode. Um so Jeepers Creepers. Jeepers Creepers is probably one of my most favorite monster film franchises of all time. Um um there's so many things that I could say about this film franchise. It's probably one of my all-time favorite. dare I say, I love it more than um, the Halloween franchise and the Scream franchise, and that is just because I'm so passionate about it. When I was first introduced to the Creeper and what he was bringing to the table as far as the horror, as far as the horror factor, he was probably one of the first um, monsters to scare the living daylights out of me. Literally, um, I think the first film I watched was Jeepers Creepers 2, and it was on AMC Fear Fest. I remember I was at AMC. It was on AMC Fear Fest, and um, but I was watching AMC Fear Fest, and I was at my cousin's house, and it came on. It was I think it was the final act of the movie. Um, it was the final act of the movie when the dad was it was after he had shot the creeper in the chest, and the creeper was kind of pulling on the bus and yanking on the cord and trying to get free um from the torpedo that hit him in his stomach. um but um I think it was after that, the scene where um one of the students is in this kind of the grassy area. It looked kind of like a mini cornfield. And then you got the creeper. He just like the moment his head shot up, it scared the shit out of me. It really, really did. It scared the shit out of me. And like I said, I had no idea what this film was at the time until I watched it all the way through, watching the first film and then going into the second film. And I absolutely fell in love with this character. I really did. The way that the design of the creeper with the wings, um, and his face the little mouthpieces that open up all around his head. Um, it was just really cool. Like as I watched it more and more, I just found myself not really getting scared anymore, but it was more so just I was just absolutely blown away by the character design, the music, the fall atmosphere that this film brought. It was just really a really great film, and I absolutely loved watching it. And still to this day, every year, um, around autumn and uh around autumn and like the Halloween, Thanksgiving year, time frame, I always love venturing back to that film. So um, it was a really really great film to it was a really, really great film to watch, and I absolutely love it, and I still love it to this day. So much that um, I have been working on a project, and some of you guys already know this. A small handful of you guys already know this. I am working on a script for a film that at some point in the later years, maybe, possibly, might um make it into the franchise, and hopefully will do the franchise justice. Um, And the reason that I'm doing it is because the last two films that we had, the last two films that we had as far as Jeepers Creepers were, they were not good. They weren't scary, they weren't funny. It really put a damper on the franchise. It really did. Um yeah, um it really put a damper on the franchise. And I have felt so much passion for this franchise that I'm trying to resurrect it um in a way. Um so it's definitely one of those things that I want to do justice to, and that's why I'm taking so long on it. And I talked to Ryan about this. Um I talked to Ryan about this, and um he was even telling me, that's good that I guess that's good that it's taken long because it gives me time to pinpoint more ideas. Um, if and kind of do rewrites if I need to. If the first draft doesn't work, I can kind of tweak things here and there. It gives me a lot of time to really perfect this first full length script that I'm working on. Um, and that's what I'm doing. I'm taking my time on it because I don't want to screw it up. I don't want to be like these last two directors, which the the third movie was made by the same director who made the first two Jeepers Creepers films. And when he put this out, it was just like I just feel like he didn't care about the character anymore. Um he didn't care about the fans. He didn't care about um what made this film scary. He just kind of I feel like he just kind of threw away his project. He threw away his um masterpiece of a character, his masterpiece of a story. I feel like he just said, screw it. And maybe it had something to do with the fact that um he had the lawsuits going on, and it had nothing to do with the film itself. It had to do with personal stuff that was going on his end, and he had lawsuits and um, possible jail time and things like that. Um, so I think at that point, I think he just really did not give a shit about the character, didn't give a shit about his work, um, and I think he just really wanted to make a statement. Screw you guys. This is what you get. Um, so um, so you know what he did with part three was I can forgive it because it wasn't um I guess it wasn't all bad because we still got the creeper to an extent, but also we didn't. Um the design the unique design I feel like was no longer there, especially when was being shown in broad daylight. Um the he looked like I'll take this to my grave. The creeper in part three, he looked like some random dude who had just gotten back from the drive-through at a McDonald's. Like it was with the bright red shirt, and he almost looked like he had a beer belly of sorts. Um, and then the way he moved, it wasn't the same creeper. It wasn't the same. Um, um, it just wasn't the same, you know. Um, and I hated it. I hated that. Because he worked so hard on the last two films, and then for him to just put something out that was in theaters for a single night, mind you, but also went straight to DVD. The characters weren't believable. The soundtrack, uh, the soundtrack was the soundtrack was good, but um, the characters weren't believable. There was no chemistry between the two that they wanted us to, have the that they wanted to be the power couple of the film. Um, the sheriff, the sheriff was not the same sheriff. Um, the lines that they gave him and the things that he was doing, and it's just like, and then they had the whole bounty hunter. Um, they did one. They did. I'll tell you guys this. They did because I'm not really spoiling anything for you. This is why I'm saying a lot of stuff about the film. If you guys want to go watch it, go watch it. But don't expect anything big to happen. Don't expect to like it because there was no love for this film at all. Um, there was no one side loved the movie, the other side hated the movie. There was no middle ground. It was just bad all the way across the board. Um, but the things that they did with the sheriff was just distasteful and bad, and it just wasn't good. um but yeah, sorry guys. For those of you who are listening and not watching, take a little break. um Sarah came in the room. um so Sarah is my wife, by the way. um but um but yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, so the things that they did with the sheriff, um he oh no, it was not the sheriff, sorry. So the bounty hunter. So they did something that they did with Jason Goes to Hell, which I already didn't like. Jason Goes to Hell. Jason Goes to Hell was a terrible movie. I'll take that to my grave. Like they did a nice little Easter egg slash confirmation of Freddy versus Jason at the end of the film. Um, but that movie, even though Kane Hodder was reprising his role as Jason, um, I was wasn't listening to it. I didn't like the movie. Um, and the uh the whole thing that they did with the bounty hunter, they were basically trying to do what they did with the Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. They brought in a guy who was supposed to be this bounty hunter character who knew what the creeper was. Um, did all his homework, go hunting down Jeepers Creepers or hunting down the creeper and telling all these guys, you got blood on your hands and this and that. And it was just it was the corniest. He was probably the cheesiest character of this entire film. Like he came in from the first word, from his first line, from his first line in the film. I was just like, I was checked out. I was like, oh my god, please no. Like, so what his line is? His first line of the film is, "Oh my god," and I'm just like, "Oh my god, yeah." This we're already messing around with this film, and I'll tell you why he says this. So the scene of this film, um, is after the creeper had taken Derry and flew out the window of the police station, of the top floor of the police station. After he had flown out the window and all that, his truck was left behind. Okay, and the entire police squad, including the chief of police, go to the truck, and I don't know how this is possible. I don't know how this is possible, you guys. I don't know how this is possible. The creeper, I guess, had time on his hands between the time that he chased between the final confrontation, or he I'm sorry. He apparently had the time between his second encounter and getting ran over um by Derry and Trish to him kidnap to him taking Derry and killing him. He apparently had the time to rig up a fucking automated truck that had all these different gadgets. It had a torpedo that shot out of the back of the truck. It had these spikes that if you got close to the doors of the truck, these freaking spikes just went and just fucking, I guess, take out your body. I don't take out your body parts. I don't know. But the creeper, I guess, had time to rig together a maximum overdrive cow catcher truck. Like, I don't I didn't I was watching this and I'm just sitting there. What the how the hell did bro have time to do this? Like, what the fuck is going on? And that's when you see the bounty hunter come up and he's like, "Oh my god." And I'm just like, "Oh, what the hell is this?" So I'm sitting here laughing at the first few minutes of the film, and then we get to we start going through the film and meeting all these different characters that you didn't really care about them, and it was just, I just, it just, it did not work, you guys, and so yeah, I'm going to tell you guys more about this film. Don't worry, you guys are going to get the extent of what this film was. Okay, so fast forward to all that. So then one of the other scenes that happened in this film, which made me laugh so much. Sorry, Sarah is texting me. I'm gonna message her real quick. But you know, one of the other things that happens in this film, um, you meet this gang of little, I guess, of biker guys that show up, and they're all riding dirt bikes in the middle in the middle of nowhere, kind of in this like green area with a bunch of trees. Um, and they come up upon the truck, right? So they all get off and they're like, um, talking about the truck and they this is when you knew what the director was doing, and I was pissed off but also laughing my ass off. So one of the guys one of these guys says something about like, you know, an a wrinkly old guy driving around in that truck. And then you see there's another dude that's standing next to him, and they're all looking at the truck, and he goes, "Jeepers creepers." And they all look at him, and he's like, "What? Jeepers? That's the song guy saying, right?" And then and then now they're all like, "Okay, well we got to kill Frankenstein's truck, right?" So the other thing that they do with this truck, and it is so stupid. One of the guys who is wearing some gloves, he grabs a rock and he grabs a rock and he goes, "Take this, you rusty old bitch." And he throws the rock at the hood of the truck and it bounces off and smacks him in the head. And it was, I'm just sitting here like, what in the hell? What movie am I watching right now? Because this is not Jeepers Creepers. This is this is Cletus and the this is Cletus and then the dirt gang. Like, just like, oh my god. It was so bad. So bad. And oh my god, it was just I couldn't fathom the amount of bullcrap that was happening. So next thing that happens is these guys are all talking, um, trying to mess with the truck, and all of a sudden, the doors open. The doors to the back of the truck open by themselves, mind you. By themselves. They open by themselves. I'll say it one more time. The doors to this truck open by themselves. Please help me make that. Please help me make that make sense. Please help me make that make sense. So, like, so the doors open by themselves, okay? And the guys are all like sitting there, and they're like sitting there, like looking in and talking about the dead bodies in the car in the back of it. And they get just a little close to it, right? And the spikes ignite. They go, boom, and all these guys fall backwards, and they all start running. And they all start running. The spikes disengage, and the doors close by themselves. These guys all get on their dirt bikes, start hightailing it, and then out of nowhere, the fucking torpedo I told you guys to get about earlier, it drops down in a little the little torpedo gun or whatever. It drops down from below the door, below the hitch of the truck, and it shoots a fucking torpedo with a cable attached to it, and grabs and freaking shoots one of the guys in the leg, throwing him off his bike. Now, apparently, they haven't figured out physics during this time because. Oh my god. Apparently, they haven't figured out physics because when this thing hit this guy's leg, he somehow went. Um. He somehow, after this thing had hit him, he somehow went down with his legs going up off of the bike, and I'm just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? And I'm just, oh my god, bro, it was so the next thing that happens is the cable starts moving and pulling this guy as his friends are all like trying to get the knife out, and it starts making that creaking sound, and I'm like, oh shit, that's some scary shit. It starts going. Well, the next thing that happens. But the next thing that happens. Yes, you do have school in the morning. Sorry, Elena made her little. That's my daughter, everybody. She made her little introduction on the podcast, first episode. But the next thing that happens is this torpedo or knife or whatever makes a freaking creaking sound, like as if like the cable is pulling it back. It goes, and for all the other three guys are holding on to him, trying to hold him, right? Bro, they weren't even trying to pull. The cable starts going, and you just see the guy going like this, and he's literally stepping back with the cable. It's not pulling him back. He's just he's stepping back, stepping back, stepping back. It was like a really bad Irish dance. And mind you, he had three of these guys holding him like they were trying to freaking pull the thing out. None of them were helping. They're just helping him back. Just helping him. Like, yeah, let's get you back to the truck. Let's get you back to the truck. And oh, I'm gonna tell you guys a couple more things about this movie, and then we'll move on to. Um, I'm not gonna go into too much detail about the fourth movie, but my God, I'm not gonna tell you anything about the fourth movie really, because there's nothing to tell. I'll tell you why in a few minutes. But anyway, so when they get this guy back to the truck, the next thing the next thing that happens, the creeper. For those of you who are watching the podcast and not listening to it, because the reason I say it is because I'm going to be releasing this podcast as an audio version. So just for those of you who are watching on YouTube, you get a good glimpse, okay? So, picture if you will, this guy is standing back. He's got his legs stuck up against the truck, right? He's got his legs stuck up against the truck. Okay? Stuck up against the truck like this. And then all of a sudden you hear boom. Hold on. Anyway, so he's up against the truck, and like I said, all you hear is wings flapping, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, on top of the truck. I'm gonna have to pull up a clip of this, you guys, or a picture. You guys know the Rhythm Nation DJ, the DJ Rhythm DJ. So the creeper comes down and lands on top of the truck like this, and he might as well have just been folding his arms, looking like freaking. Oh my god! Hold on, I gotta show you guys a picture of this. Let me show you guys a picture. Oh god, I love this. I love this, you guys. So, oh goodness, where is it? So, I can't show you guys because it's not showing me, but I will tell you what I'm talking about. So, I will show you guys what I'm talking about. So this is the gang here, the Scooby Gang, I guess. This is the gang right here of the biker dudes, right? So there's the gang there, and then um, let me just give you an image of the creeper on top of the truck, okay? I'll show you what he was like on top of the truck. So I had to tell you about this other scene too, but so here's the creeper standing on top of his truck, right? Nobody driving it, right? Nobody driving the truck. Nobody operating the truck. But anyway, he's on top of the truck with his wings out, with the wings out, and going like this, looking down at all the guys like, huh, what do we have here? And I'm just like, no, what the ever loving dog doo doo is this? That's not even the worst of it. That's not even the worst of it. So one of these guys is riding a bike. So all the other guys get killed. Okay, these two of the guys get made into a not a corn on the cob. Um, I can't remember the name. What are those things? Um, with the food, like the food on the sticks. You guys know what I'm talking about? Please tell me you guys. You please tell me you guys know what I'm talking about. Um, chat, help me out. Help me out. Kebab. Two of the guys get turned into a frick kebab on a tree, and then one guy is riding his bike as fast as he can, and as he's riding, he does a jump with his bike. Okay, now help me make this make sense. How do you jump your bike 18 feet in the goddamn air? And you have the creeper swoop down and take your ass up with the bike. So this happens it was the worst CGI. First of all, somebody photoshopped the creeper in that scene. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. Somebody photoshopped the creeper in that scene. Somebody had to have. There's no way you freaking jumped your bike all the way up in the trees, all the way up in the tree line, and the creeper swoops down from underneath and grabs you. There ain't no way. The chicken doo-doo chips. My goodness. And don't worry, you guys. I will be acknowledging chat here in a little bit. So, I just watched that kebab scene. You know what I'm talking about then. But the guy does a freaking high-flying thing with his bike. Some stupid shit. And the creeper gets photoshopped in, gripping him up from the freaking bike. And the bike, you just see the slow motion of the bike just falling down. I was dying. I was dying. I was rolling around on the floor laughing my ass off, and oh my god, I just couldn't take it. So, let me explain a couple more scenes. We're gonna jump ahead. If you guys want to watch the film, bright red shirt and grabs his spear. Yep, that's him. It's Jonathan Breck. What bike scene? Same scene. Look it up, Ryan. Let me send you a link while I'm talking about this. So another scene that happens in this movie is when the creeper is in his truck, and apparently he's decided to have a little bit of mercy and leave these guys alive in the back of the truck instead of killing them right on there. He doesn't kill one of the characters right away. He puts her in a body bag in the same sheet that he does usually, and he just leaves her alive. He leaves her and the other guy alive. One of the dirt bike guys. He leaves them alive, and they're in there, and the creeper gets attacked by his truck trying to kill the girl, okay, who's supposed to be the final girl. He gets attacked by his truck. So he has this little compartment in between the seats that if you go there, if you move in between there, this little freaking pipe or spear thing activates and fucking bam into whatever body part that's in between the seats. So the creeper is attacking her in between the seats, right? The fucking contraption activates, smacks him, pierces him right dead in the side of the head. You know those bad movies back in the day where it was like an eyeball like coming out of the socket? So the creeper gets stabbed, right? All you see is his eyeball looking like a three-dimensional object coming out like this, and it was like those Looney Tunes cartoons. Oh, his eye just fucking woo. You see his eye growing as he's getting pierced by his freaking own contraption that he put together in his truck. Bro, I was done with the film after this. I was like, you know what? This is a bullshit movie with no sign of slowing down with the jokes and the parody. I'm done. Now, I'm going to tell you guys the number one scene of this movie. As soon as, like that 3D kill from Friday Part 2, yes. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, no, it was Part 3. It's Part 3 3D. It's Friday 13th Part 3 3D. So, if you guys don't know what Ryan is talking about, so there's a scene in Part 3. I think it shows up actually 2 times. in Friday the 13th Part 3. So this old man who's supposed to be the new like wise man or whatever, telling you if you go to Camp Crystal Lake you're gonna die. So he's supposed to be like this guy. So he's laying in the middle of the street, right? And the car comes up and they think they, oh my god, they killed someone. Well, he gets up, he's got his hat on, he gets up and he's holding an eyeball and pointing it at the screen. Like, this is how 3D was back in the day, where you just had to like pull an object out and you just had to like angle it at the camera just the right way. So they did that with the eyeball. That's what the creeper looked like. His eyeball was just like, woo. And I'm just sitting there like, I'm done, bro. This movie's done for. This movie's lost. Like, I was just done. But that's not even the best part. Let me. I'm still hold it right. I'm sending the scene to you. Is it this one? Nope. Where is it? Oh, come on. Where is it? Um, but anyway, so I'll find it and hand it to you, or I'll send it to you, Ryan, or I might just buy the movie from. Is crushing his head and the eye pops out. Oh yeah, no, that too, definitely. Yeah. It was more like that, you guys. So it's more like that scene where Jason's freaking squeezing the guy's head and his eyeball pops out. Yeah, it was like that. But um, so two more scenes I'm gonna tell you about because I oh god, this film. So the first thing I'm gonna tell you about is so that picture I showed you with the creeper on top of his truck. That's in the movie, by the way. So this movie was badass at first. So they after they had encountered the automated truck, the automated weapon of the truck, um, they towed the truck off, right? And as they are driving, the creeper lands on the back of the truck, right? And he, you see, oh, you don't see his head, you don't see more any of his body. You just see him walking, and you see his hand with the axe in hand. So this is actually really cool. It was like fucking creeper being resurrected, or like him coming like, oh shit, the creeper's back. Like it was the first scene we get of the creeper. So he lands on the back of the truck, has the axe in hand, and he walks towards the chain that's got his truck hooked up. So he takes the axe and he freaking chops the chain in half. And I'm just like, oh shit, bro, really wanted his truck back. So they stop the truck. Uh, the the tow truck driver, as well as the one of the deputies sitting in the passenger seat, they stop the truck and they get out. What they see, I'm telling you, you guys have to watch this movie. I cannot make this shit up. You see the truck coming into view and passing the tow truck. Okay, you see it. You see But anyway, I cannot make this shit up. So you see his truck come into view, right? You see his truck come into view, passing the tow truck, passing the deputy and the tow truck driver. As the truck passes, the camera pans up, and the creeper is on top of the truck, looking at them. He's on top of his truck, looking at them as this freaking truck is driving on its own. What the fuck? Bro, he was truck surfing, okay? He wasn't even. Like, what the hell? What is going on with this movie? So there was that, and then there was one more bullshit scene of this movie, which I was like, oh hell no. So at the beginning of the movie, the creeper gets his hand chopped off by a man-made axe, man-made hatchet, and further into the movie, this lady digs up the creeper's dead hand, and she puts it on this table outside her house, and she undoes the cloth and sees the hand. Well, she looks at the hand and decides to go like this and interlock and put her hand on the creeper's dead hand. Well, the creeper's dead hand, I guess, is still alive without him being there. Grabs her hand, and all of a sudden, this creeper hand starts lifting in the air and pulling her in the air with it. And then she starts going into some sort of trance, and all you hear is whoosh, whoosh. Like, what the fuck is this? What is this? What is this movie? This is not Jeepers Creepers. What the? So I'm just like dying this whole movie, you guys. If you guys get the chance to see Jeepers Creepers 3, I highly recommend it just for the fact that how stupid and funny this film is. It's don't expect it to be your typical Jeepers Creepers movie, one. And two, don't expect it to be scary like the other two. Just expect to have a good time watching a parody of the Jeepers Creepers franchise, because I'll tell you, it was the best comedy of the year. Hands down. I'm not even lying. It was so stupid and not making sense that it was funny. Like, that's all I can say about it. It wasn't the creeper, wasn't Jonathan Brack, it wasn't the Jeepers Creepers film, it wasn't the third film, it was just Jeepers Creepers, the parody. It was so bad. But not as bad as the third film. I'm gonna the fourth film, you guys. I'm not gonna go into detail about this film because I'm not gonna give this film the satisfaction. Okay, I could appreciate what they were trying to do, what they were doing. I could appreciate the third film, just because it was it was funny as hell. It's still funny. I still find myself trying to watch it nowadays. Um, but Jeepers Creepers Reborn. I don't know what acid trip somebody came off of that they decided, let me make a Jeepers Creepers movie and call it Reborn. But it was Jeepers Creepers Reborn. It was like if somebody was making a really bad sloppy Joe sandwich that had been sitting in the dirt. It had been sitting in the Sahara Desert, scolding, marinating. Vultures were eating out of it. Possums were shitting in it. It was such a bad movie. It wasn't a parody. It wasn't a sequel to the second movie, which they tried to make it out to be. It was hands down the worst goddamn horror movie of all time. And I will say this, if you find yourself scrolling through Hulu and you come up upon the title Jeepers Creepers Reborn and the thumbnail of what looks to be a gremlin or goblin looking you dead in the eyes with some kind of weird hat and a stroller with a crow standing on it, get the hell away from that movie. Scroll past it. Do not hit play. Just get away from that shit. You have been warned. That's all I have to say about Jeepers Creepers Reborn. That's all I'm gonna say about Jeepers Creepers Reborn. It was bad. It was worse than bad. So, yeah. That was my little segment where I talk about Jeepers Creepers and how I'm trying to resurrect the franchise um, in the right way, casting the right characters, casting the right, getting the right actors and actresses together, of who I think would really do justice to the characters that I have in this script. Um, I do have one soundtrack, one song that I'm going to be hopefully adding to a concept soundtrack that I want done at some people. But yeah, no. So anyway, there's some people. Hold on, I got to read this comment from Ryan real quick. Ryan says, Z-Man's Edit says, there's some people who think it's the best horror film ever. I'm going to hold my tongue on that one. I'm not going to say anything. If you like that movie, more power to you. Not everybody has the same opinion. Mine just happens to be accurate. Anyway, all right. So, let's get into our last segment. This is going to be my last we're dipping into time a little bit, so we're going to go through now, and this is my segment where I talk to chat. I talk to you guys, answer questions that you may have about what to expect, whether it be about what to expect from the podcast or um, uh, or what you would like to see as far as films or not films, video reactions or any channel that you would like to have featured on the reactions, um, or just any questions in general. I'm just don't make them weird, okay? Don't make the questions weird. But anyway, all right, chat. So we're gonna go through. We're gonna read this. We're gonna catch up on chat a little bit. You guys have been commenting all throughout this episode, and I'm super happy. Um, so we're gonna start up here from where I think I left off. um, Crazy Grandpa. I have no idea who Crazy Grandpa is. Barbara did send me a video, full hour-long video link, which I will probably do on a live stream, just for the fact that it's an hour long. Um, but yeah. So let me see. Still on dark Discord. Oh, as far as the Discord goes, I will be getting back into the Discord. Don't worry. It's taking me a little bit of time to get back there, but I will be getting back on the Discord. So don't worry. I will announce once the Discord is back up. Once I am active on there again, I will make an announcement or update you guys on what I'm active on there. But Discord is still going to be there. Um, I am going to be making my way back there. Stop writing scary stories after your 5-year-old nephew died a month ago. Oh no, Dark Wizard, I am so sorry to hear that. Or Gen Worlds. Do you want to go by Gen World or Dark Wizard? But again, I am sorry to hear that. My condolences go to you and your family. Um, that is a very difficult thing to have to go through with the loss of a loved one. Um, especially under those circumstances. My heart goes out to you. I am praying for you. Um, um, and yeah, I am incredibly sorry for your loss. I like to pretend that Jeepers Creepers 2 is the last one. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's what I do. Jeepers Creepers was the last film of the franchise. Pending another one, possibly. But yeah. Um Check another good slasher that I recommend is Your Next from 2013. Okay. I will check it out. Jason X was worse. Jason X. So as far as Jason X goes, you guys, I actually like Jason X. Um, I didn't like the whole idea of Uber Jason though. Um, but I love that Kane Hodder was back as Jason Voorhees. Um, that version of Jason, apart from Uber Jason, that version of Jason Voorhees, I actually liked it. I dug the design. I dug the mask. The mask was I actually liked the mask. It's not as good as the original. It's not as good as the previous ones that preceded it. Of the other ones that preceded it, but I did like that mask. I did like the design of uh the Jason that they had with the chains around with the chain stuck around him and um just he looked really big. Um which I will say because I think Jason X came after Jason Goes to Hell. Um we needed a menacing Jason. Um and I feel like other than what they did with the Uber Jason, they for the most part they gave us Jason back, resurrecting him from what Jason Hell Goes to Hell left him in, um, and then Friday the 13th Killer Cut was also a, I didn't like uh I didn't like what they were doing with the storyline, but I did like the Jason that they had. He was very tall, very menacing. The kills were absolutely they were gory as hell and really gnarly. Um, and very creative. So I did like that. Um, but yeah. um, but anyway. Oh, that sounds like a Naked Gun movie. uh, one of the best kills. Which kill? Buckbeak. Because there's a few. Um, there's the there's the kill with God, there's the kill with the simulation with the two campers in the sleeping bag. There's that one where he smacks him against the tree like a rag doll. Um, and then there's the one where uh the one girl, not the android, but the other girl that's still alive, and not the one that encountered Jason at the beginning of the movie. Um, she looks like Matthew Lillard. She looks very closely resembling to Matthew Lillard. Like she could be related to him. But she gets sucked into the freaking hole, in the hull of the ship. So there was that one. There was also, it's my top favorite out of that entire, out of all the kills in Jason X. It's my top favorite. The dry the um dry ice. The the ice water that Jason uses to freeze that girl's face, and then fucking smacks it on the counter, throws her on the ground. Yeah, that was my favorite kill of the entire film. Um, Jason Takes Manhattan. Oh hell yeah! No, Jason Takes Manhattan is a really good one. Cracking you up. Thank you, thank you, Don. Is he like? Is he a wizard like Harry Potter? He has to be, bro. Gee, the things he did with that truck, and then, oh man, god damn, Polter, Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead. Oh, oh man. All right, let's move further down the list. Scooby Dooby 7, but Austin buys a chicken gown. Goodness. Truck sounds like some Knight Rider shit. Hey, bro, it's gotta be maximum overdrive or something. I mean, god damn. All right, let's see. Will you still be doing any reaction streams? No. Reaction streams have come to a halt. Because I want to do more videos. Um, I want to do more videos. Um, uh, the streams going forward are going to be one, the podcast, obviously, but also, um, at some point down the road, maybe gaming streams. We'll see. I don't see that happening at any time soon. We might also do like cooking streams, or just a hangout stream where I just hang out with you guys and chat. Um, we'll have another stream where Elena takes over the channel for a night or so, for a night, you know. So, but yeah, no, there's still gonna be live streams, and I'll still try to keep them as entertaining as possible. But for right now, the reaction streams are um they've come to a complete halt. But anyway, contact Granny and Jake for an appearance on podcast. Um, I can do that. I will see, but I will say that I did contact them a number of months ago to see if I could just do like a mini interview and just see if I could do like an interview. Um, and they have not contacted me back. I have not heard anything on Instagram or Twitter, um, or by email. So, um, I can always reach out again, but I don't know if they'll accept or not. Or maybe during one of the live streams I can ask. But I will do my best to see if I can make that happen. We'll see. Crazy Grandpa's podcast channel. I haven't seen it yet. Okay. I will I will I will definitely check it out. Uber Jason is amazing. Like Austin's reaction to Jake saying that mosquitoes suck me off. Jeez. Oh, that is a good question, Don. So Don Randall has a question. At Don Randall has a question. What is your favorite Angry Grandma video that you reacted to? So there is a ton of Angry Grandma videos, like 80 plus Angry Grandma videos that I have reacted to. Um, I don't know. I can't really pick a favorite because they're all funny. Um and I've done, like I said, I've done quite a bit of them. As far as like making a choice on what my favorite one was, I don't think that I'd be able to do that because there's um you know um yeah, I just don't think that there's one that I can really pick. um Want to talk about where the woman's head gets frozen? Okay. Liquid nitrogen. Okay, well, still, that's my top favorite scene of that whole film. That whole film on Instagram. Jake streams again. I'll ask him if you want. Okay, yeah. I mean, like I said, if you guys want it, if you guys want me to interview Granny and Jake, or have them on an episode of the podcast, blow up their DMs. Like, push for it. For those of you who are Drama fans, definitely reach out to them. Help me boost it. Help me reach out to them, and let's see if we can get them here on that podcast. If they end up being the first guest, great. That would absolutely be amazing to get to talk to them one on one. So, um, but yeah. um, did you hear that stream where you commented on Granny's stream and she said your name Salem wrong? Yes, I did. I did. That was actually one of the first streams that I did a dono for. Um, that was actually one of the first Angry Grandma streams that I did a dono for. So, um, I think the other one was when they were. I think the other one was a long while ago, when they were out at like that cabin. It was Carol Ann and Shelby and Jake and Granny. They were all out at the cabin. Um, Jake was talking about something I don't remember, but yeah. But yeah, Jake said thanks, Austin Salim. Oh, they trust me. A lot of people have said that, have said my name like that. Um, Actually, there's only two people that have said my name like that. You want to know who it was? Granny and Blasphemous HD. Those are the two. Those are the two YouTube channels that have gotten my name wrong. And it was I don't remember what stream it was, but he was playing some games. He was playing Overwatch 2. And I sent him a super chat when I was working at Walmart. I was sitting in I was sitting in the break room during lunch. And I sent a dono to him, and he goes, Austin Salim, thank you for the dono. Appreciate it, bro. And I was just like, oh my god. I wasn't holding it against him, because like he's only the second person that's ever said Salim instead of Salem. Um, so like it was funny. Um, and I kind of just I just laughed it off. I didn't get angry or anything. Um, you know, so all I knew was that he acknowledged. Uh, he gave me a shout out, and I was happy with that. Just like Granny, I was happy that I got a shout out. So, but I didn't see you in my chat last night when Austin and I were playing Repo. Oh yeah, Barbara, you should have been there. So, for those of you who don't know, um, me and Ryan we get together when we're able to, or when I'm able to, I should say, we get together and we do collabs and we play Repo. Well, last night during Repo, oh my god, it was probably the most fun I've had. Me and Ryan have had in playing that game. Like, it was probably I will say it was probably the most fun that and I have had on that game. It was absolutely fun. Uh, we were blowing each other up and self-destructing, and managed to survive a majority. Um, I managed to survive almost every round of that game last night, so it was fun. Which it was crazy because I most of the time when I'm playing that game, I'm dead. I'm either dead or being chased or hiding the entire damn time while everybody else is putting stuff in the carts. Like it was a crazy night last night. It was fun. It was fun though. Um, but yeah, no, I absolutely had a great time. We definitely need to do it more frequently, Ryan, when we can. Like, because I know you, I know he works. Was it Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday, something like that? Um, but yeah, no. For the time being, if you guys want to see me play games or hear me, or get to experience me playing some games, go over to Ryan's channel. Um, go to Ryan's channel, check him out. He plays Zelda. He plays Repo, Backrooms, um, Star Fox. Um, but it's a fun time over there. I can vouch for him. It is a fun time over there. Getting him to getting to watch him play some games. Um, but it's awesome. But I have rewatched Austin's clip of Z-Man scaring Austin. Oh, yeah, no, I remember that. I think that video has like over like 800. I think that video has like 800 views now, which is crazy. I've noticed something like the shorts. They're getting so many views. It's crazy. Like today when I uploaded my short, updating you guys on when the podcast was going to be released or when the first episode was streaming. Within like 5 minutes, that video got 302 views or 304 views, something like that. That was crazy. Like I definitely do want to get to a point where that's happening again with the reaction videos. So, but I'm going to be really happy if you have an appearance of Granny or Jake for one of your podcasts. Hey, you know what? It would be awesome to have Granny or Jake um here on the channel, just hang out and chat. Um, another channel that would be awesome to talk to is my good buddies Mike and Jay. I would absolutely love to um either go and do one-on-one chat with them on their channel or over here. Like I would absolutely love to just spend an hour or so talking and chatting about movies with them. Like absolutely would love it. Um but yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, this we're in the closing moment of my first episode, you guys. Um, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me on the first episode of my podcast. It has been fun. Uh, I did not know where this was going when I first started this, but I'm sure I'm so glad. Um, I'm so glad I got to finally start doing this. Um, now as far as the episodes go, they will be one episode per week. Um, so next week, um, so I don't know what day, but next week or yeah, next week. Because today's Sunday, so it's the start of a new week. So, um, I'm thinking maybe Monday or Tuesday, possibly. Um, we will be streaming, and I will be streaming another episode of the podcast. I'm going to be coming up. I will be coming up with a topic to talk about that entire episode. So stay tuned. Um, but this is kind of what it's going to be like. Just hanging out, chatting, um, drinking some coffee, and just chilling out and just enjoying the time and um, getting up to some really fun shenanigans. So, but anyway, this has been the Austin Salem podcast. I'm Austin Salem. Thank you guys for coming and checking out the first ever episode of the podcast. Um, there's going to be definitely some more shenanigans to get into. Um, but stay with me here on this journey as I go into a new chapter on YouTube. Um, there's a lot to there's a lot of things that I can do with this podcast. Talking about my daily life, um, talking about my deities, or um, just horror movies or games, um, or the just Halloween, um, paranormal. Um, we'll be at some point we'll be doing some Reddit scary stories, reading those on during the podcast. It's gonna be a fun time, you guys, and I'm super excited to really dive in more with this podcast. Um, if you are on the channel and you're watching, stay tuned. Tomorrow and Tuesday there will be videos dropping on the channel. We've got some angry. I will tell you. I will tell you guys. Let you in on what to expect. We've got some angry grandma dropping, as well as um, a couple more Choo Choo and Quan videos. Because that last video with Choo Choo and Quan, oh my god, I could not stop laughing. Choo Choo and Quan is like that's the thing about this channel. I think I'm gonna start doing a more. I'm gonna start doing more rage videos, more like raging, uh, channel reactions. Because Choo Choo and Quan is like angry grandpa and kid behind the camera. Um, so like it was definitely a fun little video to watch. So, um, but anyway, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out on tonight's episode of the podcast. Episode 2 will be streaming live next week. So be on the lookout for that. And then, like I said, videos coming Monday and Tuesday. So I'm going to get off now. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for coming and hanging out and drinking some coffee or Monster energy drinks, whatever you guys' poison is. Thanks for coming and hanging out. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. We will catch you later.